Hi, everybody. Helena Scott here. I am one of the co-founders of findr, which is our kind of revolutionary disaster relief app, as well as a Lotbot, Poplot.shop, Football on the Brain. Oh gosh, the list is long. The different business ventures and projects that we put out, obviously all are geared towards helping or a cause. I just kind of want to record this brief message to you all as you guys are finding this message, most likely because you've come to our crowdfunding page to help us get the final capital that we need to actually roll out this app and program. I just wanted to tell you kind of a little bit about the direction that we're going in and a little bit more, I guess, one-on-one with you all what it does. We started developing findr almost 4 years ago now. We were kind of looking at the way, I guess, disasters in a way were handled. We're talking about mass shootings, hurricanes, floods, you name it, the tsunamis. And we learned that whereas everything had kind of a direction or a place. So you had the American Red Cross, who people would donate to, and the Red Cross or other aides would step in to try to assist in the matter. We realized that actually the system, when a massive disaster actually happens, it's actually pretty segmented. So that poses a problem. We also learned recently with the hurricanes that decided to just devastate the United States that people didn't know, and the emergency crews didn't know people who stayed or who had gone, who had left, who had evacuated. That also, poses a problem because the resources that people are actually sending in. So when you open up your wallet and you're helping out and doing your part to help strangers when they encounter these disasters, your money is not being spent properly because a large majority of the resources have to go towards not knowing what people need, not knowing if they stayed or they left, not knowing if they needed medical attention. The different organizations such as the policing didn't even have like exact territories that they knew where they had to check to know if people were in need. It's kind of like everybody comes into the situation with the best of intentions, but they bleed out money and resources because there was nothing really in place that says we do A, B, C, and D in the event of a disaster. So we kind of knew, after the massive hurricanes that kind of have spread through recently in the United States, that what we had developed would be a massive resource to governments, to people, to individuals, to, you name it. So basically what findr does is findr can be downloaded to your existing technology, meaning your phones, your iPhones, your Androids, also some some smartwatch technology, smart bands and things like that we've worked on as well. In the event that a disaster happens, unfortunately, say another hurricane or a mass shooting, which we see regularly. I think there's like one a day recently, which is kind of crazy. It'll instantly give you an alert to your GPS area that there, is a disaster. You can then hit a button that basically states, if you are evacuating, if you stayed, or you left. This information then also is forwarded on to the proper authorities, organizations, as well as the countless businesses that have so generously donated their resources in the event of a disaster. So you also get a response back of what you need. So if, for example, with the hurricanes that happened in Texas, people needed water. Do they need medical attention? The people who need medical attention actually will be moved up in the scale of things. The American Red Cross will know who stayed or who left, who is on. Another problem that we also found is that, people are using social media as a way of trying to communicate out that they're okay or they need assistance or what is going on with their friends and family. Obviously, an important feature is to be able to give updates to your loved ones so that they know that you're okay, that you're safe, or that you need attention, or that they need to help assist with you. There's 1,000 different features that this program does. A lot of it internally, you might not even be aware of because it goes out to the different agencies that will aid and assist you in that. We started this project very ambitiously and decided that we were going to keep it all in-house. So it's all been kind of funded through us and through our businesses to get us to this phase. We're in the part now where we definitely need to make it multilingual, and we do have several different contracts with some smart technology, and they obviously, in the event of everything that's happened in the last couple of months, would like to get this rolled out quickly. So we're looking for basically 1/4 of what we need to actually complete this and get this rolled out by the end of the year, which is our deadlines for our contracts. So basically what we did is we set up a funding site, and we recently, as of today, added a series of different rewards. And basically the rewards are your donation. You're almost getting something, and your donation, the amount of money that you donate, you're getting something in return. Whether it's a gift card to poplot.shop. Poplot.shop is a site that we have that is upcoming fashion designers and crazy, amazingly cool products from all around the world. And pretty much 60% of the money that site generates goes to different charities, organizations, and individuals. So we have Poplot. We also have Football on the Brain, because I know that it's football season. It's football and soccer, like we call it in the United States, or real football, like people would say in Europe. We have a series and a line of shirts that are inspired for brain injury research, which are so cool. They're almost x-rayed brains. It's just a unique item. So that's another item that you could get as a reward. Another thing that we do at the end of the year is we offer a kind of personal assistance service where, for a flat fee, you get a personal assistant that can help you get everything ready for the holidays. If you're a small business and can't necessarily afford to hire an assistant, it's a great service. And all of our proceeds from that actually go to help families in need during the holidays. So families that won't be able to give gifts to their children or their loved ones. So we've been really proud of that project for the last couple of years. So basically, long story short, I know that crowdfunding, and this is our first, I guess, stab at actually reaching out to strangers to kind of get the message out and to donate what they can to help us launch this. So for me, it's a little stressful. It's a little I guess, concerning that we want people to understand a little bit more about, I guess, what we're doing and the massive effect that this program will have. Some of the things I've heard over the course of time with any project and kind of in our line of business is that people always think, well, I haven't experienced a disaster, or I live in a part of a country or live in a part of a state that hasn't had anything that have happened. But that doesn't mean that it won't. That also doesn't mean that it's not on us as a society to make a better system, and it does cost you. It's kind of like one of those things where, sure, maybe you don't live where a tsunami hit, or you haven't experienced what has happened in Las Vegas, or your house wasn't devastated from the floods in Texas. But it costs you in the long run. It costs you in taxes. It costs you in all areas. So if we can simplify and kind of come up with a strategy that when these things happen, it does affect you. It does affect everybody. And, you know, for us, that's the thing I guess that we're like the most proud of, is that, you know, I guess we were so shocked to know like what actually does happen when, you know, a disaster happens, when the hurricane hits. People are alerted. How are they alerted? How are they not alerted? Are how do the different agencies and the different organizations actually know where their services are needed? You know, it's kind of like it's like throwing things out into the wind the way the setup is now and hoping that everybody actually gets what they need. And the one thing too that we have learned over the years too is that we talk about the immediate need, but we also talk about the long-term recovery. A lot of the organizations and a lot of things that you donate to don't have a long recovery plan, and most people are kind of left to fend for themselves. Like, what do they do after their house is destroyed or their city is destroyed and they're out of work? You know, we need to put things into place that make the process a little bit easier. And we really feel that the direction that findr is in, and it will grow and it will change and we will add as it goes, really will help, will simplify things. It will make it be kind of like a mainstream thing. Another thing that I'm going to go back on, and I'm sorry that I'm jumping all over the place because that's what happens when you just decide to talk into your into your technology. We kept this in-house for also another reason, is we wanted to make sure that the download to the public was free. We didn't want this to be a thing that only people of a certain means could get or could potentially use. We want it to be for all. And we also set up a program in place with a smart band that we will be also distributing to, you know, low income areas, people who can't, or different countries where the money and the finance isn't there, where the technology isn't there. We've also got concerns that have come up, obviously, based upon off the grid type of situations, like we saw in Puerto Rico, where the tech was down. And, you know, how do we make it be that we can still communicate? And, you know, we've come up with some solutions that we're really proud of. Not everything that the program does is actually listed on the crowdfunder, and it's done obviously because some of it is patent pending, as well as the fact that we want to wait until launch. We live in a world where people, I guess, in everything see dollar signs, and we are not doing this for the dollar signs. We're doing this for what it will do and what it will help in the world, because that has been our focus for at least the last decade. So, like I said, I just wanted to reach out, and I thank you in advance for coming to our crowdfunder and opening up your hearts and your wallets and helping us kind of get through this next phase right before launch. Our deadlines got moved up, which, and any entrepreneur knows, can be very stressful. So I thank you all again for coming and opening up, like I said, your wallets and your hearts, and helping us get the small amounts of money that we need to bring this app and this program to the masses. So if you also have any other questions, or would like to be, you're a business or an entrepreneur that would like to be involved in a bigger way with findr, you can email findr, Findr, tech, TECH, at gmail.com. Put it to the attention of Jonathan, and we will get back to you ASAP and answer any and all questions you may have. We also encourage, we set up on our funder where you can start your own campaign and kind of support our campaign. Because we know that, like, in the big picture of it, when your time is money, and for you to be able to spend your time to reach out to the people that you have in your life, your family, your friends, businesses, colleagues, that is time. And time, like I said again, is money. So if you set up one of our support campaigns, it lets us know the amounts of money that you generate, and we'll be giving you 10% of that for your time. It's only fair, and we thank you in advance for doing something like that. We've got a very